Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Linstead double murder victims identified. Police have identified the two people killed in a double murder in Commodore District in Linstead, St. Catherine on Thursday morning. They are Leon English, otherwise Colfari, a 41-year-old higgler from Commodore, and his girlfriend, Sadika Salki, 23, from Orangefield District, also in Linstead. A 33-year-old taxi driver was injured in the incident. Police reported that about 1:45 a.m., English reportedly chartered the taxi to take him home, where he met Salki upon arrival. They were reportedly ambushed by armed men who opened gunfire at them and hit English in his face and upper body. Salki was shot in her leg and upper body. The injured cabby managed to escape. Police who went to the scene found the couple's bullet-riddled bodies. Salki was seen lying on her face. They were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. No motive has yet been established for the killing. Edcom CEO Elvis King dies suddenly. Elvis King, CEO of Edcom Cooperative Credit Union Limited, has died, the company announced on Thursday. King passed away suddenly on Thursday, the company said. Due to King's death, all Edcom branches were closed early for the day at 12 noon. King served more than 30 years in the financial services business, working his way up to the corporate ladder since joining Association of Assistant Masters and Mistresses as a loan officer in 1991. Throughout his career, he served in a number of positions including marketing manager and loans manager at Assistant Masters and Mistresses. Prior to be appointed CEO of Edcom, King served as general manager, which in 2015 merged operations with UWI Corporate Credit Unions to form Edcom. No apology or retraction from Popcorn. There has been no apology or retraction from the unruly boss Popcorn, as his legal team issued a final public statement, and controversy continued to swirl around the Burna Boy concert, which was held at the National Stadium last weekend. As stated publicly, our client is very troubled by the sound issues that occurred at the Burna Boy concert. However, at no point in the video in question did our client state that his comments on Miss Burke related to said sound issues. There are other incidents which are also of serious concern to our client. Nevertheless, our client is open to dialogue, but we have not yet received any communication from Miss Burke or her counsel, the statement from attorney at law Ron Young stated. Popcorn said during the concert was plagued by technical difficulties, which resulted in the artist walking off the stage and complaining to the sound engineers. Issa Buchanan, the attorney at law representing the Solid Agency, one of the organizers behind the Burna Boy concert, had a comment that Popcorn legal team advised their client to retract his statements alleging sabotage and blaming the company's head executive Sharon Burke. Popcorn was one of the headlining acts of the concert, which was held on December 18 as part of the Caribbean leg of Burna Boy's Live the Money tour. Police await post-mortem report from Hanover prisoner who died. The Hanover police are currently awaiting the results of a post-mortem done to determine what caused the death of one of the party's most wanted men who was in their custody. 53-year-old Eric Legacy Clark was reportedly injured during an altercation with fellow inmates last week Thursday. He was in the hospital up to Wednesday of this week. There are unconfirmed reports that he was found unresponsive in his hospital bed that day. They are awaiting the post-mortem to determine the cause of death because he was being treated in the hospital and then he died whilst in the hospital. So they don't know if he died of his injuries or otherwise. So they will just have to wait until the post-mortem is done to determine the cause of death, head of the Jamaica Constabulary Force Communications Unit, Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay told reporters. Before being apprehended last Tuesday, Clark had been on the run for 8 years. He was placed on the parish's most wanted list following a murder committed in the rural community of Cash Hill, Patty Hill, in the parish in 2014. He reportedly used a machete to inflict several wounds to the victim's body. Despite living in the same area, Clark had managed to elude the police on numerous occasions. While on the lam, he was also said to be a threat to a woman in the area. Jamaicans with criminal records for certain offences encouraged to apply for expungement. Jamaicans with criminal records for certain offences are being encouraged to apply for expungement with the Ministry of Justice. In a release on Thursday, Senior Policy Analyst at the Justice Ministry, Shanique Graham, said expungement aims to remove an offence from a person's criminal record and aims to give persons a second chance, a clean slate, to start over to be able to apply for a job, migrate, and to have peace of mind knowing they do not have a certain offense following them. However, their specific offenses of the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Act specifies cannot be expunged at this time. Murder and offense in relation to distribution of child pornography, carnal abuse with a person under 16, and sex with a person under 16 are not expungible. There are also other issues in relation to firearm possession and ammunition that are not expungible at this time. There is a long list in the legislation that we are governed by, Graham said, pointing out that persons must first be aware that they have a criminal record. Usually, this happens when a person is applying for a job and they are asked to get a police record. When you get the police record and you realize an offense comes up, you may not have remembered there was an offense because it happened 20 years ago, she said. Once an offense has been identified, persons can contact the Ministry of Justice. Persons can get some information in terms of whether or not they may have met the rehabilitation period to be able to apply for the expungement, Graham said. For details on how to get your record expunged, persons are encouraged to visit mog.gov.gm. You can contact the Ministry's customer service area, but the particular department or office that deals with expungement is the Criminal, Civil, and Family Law Unit in the Ministry of Justice, otherwise called CCFLU, said Graham. Mixed reactions to Devon House courtyard renovations. Recent renovations at the historic Devon House courtyard in Kingston have been met with mixed reaction from the public. In March, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett said the government would be sprucing up the courtyard. On Wednesday, Andrew Bellamy, the Jamaica Labour Party councillor for the Mona Division, tweeted a picture of the newly renovated area. The once lush, green landscape has now been converted to bricks. According to Bellamy, the changes will go a long way in preserving the royalty of the space. Highlighting that he was impressed by the renovation, Bellamy said the adjustments are a much-needed upgrade. According to the council, the new look will welcome more foot traffic, flow better, and is very inviting. Bellamy's tweet of the picture space was, however, met with disapproval. Many users expressed that the addition of the concrete bricks on the walkway has destroyed the lush green vegetation that is synonymous with Devon House. Responding to Bellamy's tweet, many users indicated that the change is a step in the right direction. I am at a loss as to what could have impressed you about this. It is the color of the brick or the absence of greenery or just the opening space. This is a disgrace, one user shared. Another added, the beautiful greenery has been replaced by lifeless hardness. This is a mistake. Kingston done that already, and all we keen on doing is moving green spaces. So basically, took away what was unique about the place. This is not inviting, said another. Some users have also indicated that the space that was used to entertain families for picnics and now become an entertainment hub hosting high-end parties, while others expressed that the bad roads across the island would have used this investment. Jamaica paved everything except the road, another one tweeted. However, some Twitter users agreed with Bellamy. Well overdue for this gem location, a tweet read. Looks great, another user commented. The renovations at Devon House are being done to the tune of $70 million. The announcement was made by Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett during a groundbreaking ceremony on the property back in March. According to Bartlett, the idea was to spur up the country yard area for a better dining and shopping experience. We were trying to do it in reposition and repurpose the courtyard area to make it a really exciting, aesthetically pleasing area where our young people, our children can come, our visitors as well, Bartlett told reporters at the time. Devon House is considered one of Jamaica's most celebrated historic landmarks. It was declared a national momentum in 1990 by the Jamaica National Heritage Trust under the instructions of the late Edward Seaga, who was then Minister of Development and Welfare with responsibility of cultural affairs and later Prime Minister of Jamaica. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell.